All right, so the Competition Commission is hosting a media breakfast to mark the start of the 16th Annual Competition Law, Economics and Policy Conference. The Commission suspects bread and oil pricing were inflated by producers in the wake of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Let's take you live to that breakfast now.
That has been lasting up until now, that she has been most recently, still is a panel member of the Digital Markets Inquiry, again demonstrating this connection between the Commission and her. So it is true that Doris comes from outside the Commission. It's also true that she has been intimately involved with our casework for quite some time. So welcome, Doris, and good luck. I also want to, I spoke to a few colleagues about what to say, and I think they all agree that one doesn't speak about his own legacy. It is for you to interpret it the way you want, or discard it. What I want to do, though, because I think it's quite important, is to just say that institutions matter. And I think if we have messed up cases at the Commission, getting wrong decisions here and there, judgments against us here and there, that would be fine. It also would have been fine if we didn't always get it 100% in our various targets, as long as it is within reason, so that you are not held before a disciplinary committee for incompetence. But it would have been fine not to meet these targets 100%. But I think it would have been disastrous if we had failed to create an institution that can be trusted by its stakeholders. And I don't want to count all of you. You all know yourselves as stakeholders. And that you are here today really is something that I appreciate, because it also confirms that whatever we have done, we could have scratched each other here and there. After all, this is a litigious environment. But we have institutions we can trust. They make decisions that we know are informed by either legal consideration or economic considerations. They are institutions with integrity. They are institutions that we can submit our complaints to without worries. They are institutions we can be proud to litigate for, but they are also institutions we are not afraid to litigate against. And I think that system we have created together is something to be truly proud of. And in this respect, I'm again going to go to our predecessors who, from a policy point of view, foresaw the need to create these independent institutions to enforce this mandate, but also those who were there in the beginning to start the work of putting together the institutions. I think that it is their legacy that we are celebrating today. Of course, it is important that we acknowledge that the legitimacy of institutions and the continued trust by stakeholders is, at least in part, dependent on how they respond to the needs of these stakeholders. And so I'm not downplaying by any means performance. All I'm saying is that it will be for others to assess this aspect. I'm quite proud that we are handing over an institution which is beyond its teen years, a young adult who is ready to take on the world. We have a fine institution. And at this point, I think that is all that, that matters. But we do have people who came here with expectations that we will talk a little bit about the work. I would refer you to the program. It is exciting. Just maybe I will take about 5 minutes before I conclude, putting into perspective a few things. The first is, I think what we've seen with the competition authorities in the past 2 or 3 years, I don't know now when exactly COVID struck, but what we've seen.
All right, those are live visuals there from the Competition Commission's annual breakfast. We'll give you more on this and other stories in just a bit.